Well, hey there, pedal people. It's the Pedal Guy here. How you doing? Today what we're going to do is we're going to unbox the NUX Solid Studio I.R and Power Amp Simulator. But before we get started, please take a second and click on that subscribe button down there so you can stay up to date with all of our videos. Alright, well, the Solid Studio is a pretty hot item for us here at the Pedal Guy. We're selling a lot of these right now, and it's a cool pedal because it does what we call, impulse responses. It basically simulates the power amp, the microphone, and the cabinet, so that you can use this pedal in place of, say, a real cabinet. So if you're an on-the-road musician and you don't want to carry around a cabinet with you, and you're using, like, say, a micro amp, or you're using like a smaller amp with a smaller footprint, you can actually plug it straight into this pedal and you can get that cabinet sound. Now there are other pedals out there that do something like this. For example, the cab driver from Digitech, that's one of them. There's also the cab pedal from Hot Tone, the binary cab pedal, and we've actually looked at a lot of those. Now the Solid Studio is a little different because the footprint is a bit bigger, I think. And if you're familiar with the other NUX product, the Cerberus, this has pretty much all of the same impulse responses loaded into it. So, as usual, a very solid package from NUX. So it ships quite well, and it's in this brilliant blue. Let's have a look at that. Isn't that beautiful? All right. So basic layout here. Up here on the sides, we have, on the two foot switches, we have the cabin mic foot switch, we have the amp foot switch. Up here to the far right, we have the microphone selector, and we have several of them to choose from, everything from a Shure 57 to a U87 to a couple of Royers, a couple of AKGs, and so on and so forth. The Sennheiser Dynamic 421's right there. To the left of that is the mic placement, so center, mid, edge. You have your presence, you have your drive, you have your master, and then you have three preamps to choose from. And we'll review these in another video where we do a much more in-depth look at this product. But here are all the different cabinets that are here to select from. So one that I can already tell you right off the bat is the JZ120, which is a jazz chorus. One of those legendary vintage Roland amps. Now on the back, we have the input, we have the level, so you can select between +4 and -10 dB. You can select between line and speaker. You have an output that can be used for your headphones, or it can just go straight to your audio interface if you want to. You also have a throughput, and this is another cool little feature. So let's say that you want to kind of double your pleasure and have not only just not just a processed sound going to the console, but you actually do have access to a cabinet, and you want to send the signal up simultaneously. You can send this output to your audio interface or your mixing board, and you can send this out to a different cabinet. So you can kind of thicken that sound up, and it's a really cool feature, actually. And then there is a USB port here so that you can update the firmware, and IR loading is another feature that's built into this pedal, although it's not implemented quite just yet. It's something else that we'll be covering in a future video, of course, for sure. Over here on the side, we have the DI output. So here's the direct inject output. Now there is one other little neat function here on the Solid Studio, which is you can actually create your own IRs with this pedal. So you actually don't need anything else to do it, but you can simply press both buttons while you turn it on, both foot switches, and that goes into an IR recording mode. So you can actually record your own impulse responses. So if you have a cabinet that you really love the sound of, or a speaker you really love the sound of, you can actually record that directly into this pedal, which is a really great feature, I think, because when you fall in love with that cabinet sound that you have in your studio or in your rehearsal space, and you want to take it on the road, but you don't want to schlep the cabinet around, this is a great way around that problem. So you can actually load that IR you can record that IR into this pedal, and then you can take it on the go. So it's a very cool feature. The manual's here, of course, as well, and this definitely goes into explicit detail, as you can see. Shows you all the different connection methods that you can use, and it has it in a couple of different languages there. But for more information on this pedal and the other pedals that we carry, please visit us at ThePedalGuy.com. Also be sure to follow us on Facebook, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks and have a great day.